Good morning everybody, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you like my videos, please smash that like button, please do subscribe. It's Thursday morning, the police are due out today. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning, and happy birthday to actress Jennifer Lawrence, who dropped out of school at 14 to pursue acting. Good job, that worked out for her.
Alexa, what's the time please?
Good morning, Crystal. The time is 9:02 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
It's Thursday the 15th of August.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
What do you call a man with a spade on his head? Doug.
Alexa, what's the weather outlook? Alexa, what's the weather like?
Currently, in Rochester it's 18 degrees Celsius with clear skies and sun. Today, you can expect overcast weather, with a high of 24 degrees and a low of 18 degrees.
Alexa, whose birthday is it today?
Today's famous birthdays include former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, head of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party BNP Khaleda Zia, American film actor, director and screenwriter Ben Affleck, American actress Jennifer Lawrence, American Mayor John Fetterman, and American professional beach volleyball player Kerry Walsh Jennings.
Alexa, how old's Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck is 52 years old.
Right, good morning everybody, it's Thursday. Yesterday I was £68 overdrawn in the bank. I've got up early this morning and I'm going to check my bank account a bit later on. And hopefully I'll be able to reorder my shopping and get just a couple of other bits and pieces because I'm going to be short this couple of weeks because the bank's taken away money that they should have taken out a month ago. Right, the sun is out, the sun is shining. I obviously cannot go and see my mum today because the police are coming round to my flat. They're not going to see my mother Jennifer, they're coming round to see me. Two completely different people. Right, nobody hardly sees my mum. She doesn't come to visit me. It's me going up to visit her up in Chatham. This is Rochester. There's the drilling. There goes the drilling. Actually, I don't know what that is, but every morning that goes off when I start speaking. It's either dogs barking or drills. Honestly, it does feel like, right, you know when Big Brother started? Big Brother, where they're watching their every move, aren't they? They're sat there, they're talking, the camera's closing and they're listening to them having conversations about other people, especially celebrity Big Brother. I watched the one with Michael Barrymore in it, and you can hear the public can hear what they're saying and talking about each other and that. So it feels like that. It feels like I can't have a proper life. I can't have a sexual life, I know that for sure. Just feels like Big Brother's watching you every day. I mean, I go around the field. I go around the field, honestly, and I think I've proven it. I walk past the builders, they're not drilling. I walk past, they drill. I go past the Mercedes-Benz building. It sounds like a dentist drill, like when I'm in the dentist. And the smells, because when I was a kid, smells made me ill. Smells did. I told you my granddad used turpentine, creosote for fencing, and coal. Funny that, because the sign outside my building says coal, and coal stinks. Coal obviously was used to the fuel for fires, for the grand big fireplaces. Coal was used to, help the fire burn. you know, get a nice warm fire. And coal men used to be covered in black, like black faces, because coal mines. And my nan and granddad, when I was a kid in the 70s, had a coal shed. A coal shed. So, you know, and the poisonous plants in my nan and granddad's garden, and poisonous plants when I went to live, obviously I live with my mum and dad in Sydenham, London, so holly berries are poisonous, and my nan and granddad had a holly tree in their garden, and laburnum is a poisonous plant, and they had that in one of the gardens of the flats I was living in with my mum and dad, laburnum. Because as I got older, I don't know how I managed to keep safe as a kid. I remember finding a razor blade in the garden and nearly cutting my finger off. Playing in the garden, scooping up grass, and I nearly sliced my finger in half. There was a razor blade in the grass. So what I'm trying to explain to you, these things went on when I was a kid. And you don't notice them till you're an adult, because a kid just accepts things. You've got to do as adults tell you, even if it's wrong. So, how I've got to the age I am now, I don't know. I haven't got a clue. It's me, myself and I. I ran away from home when I was 18. I mean, it didn't do me it didn't do me much better than the way I was living, but yeah, ran away because of how I was being treated. Yes, I couldn't stand my father hitting my mother, but I couldn't stand him abusing myself either. And yes, I wanted to help my sister, but she was 10 years old, and how much longer was I going to take abuse from my dad? I thought I'd end up dead, so I ran away. I ran away when I plotted to run away when I was 16, but I was told you can't leave till you're 18, so I waited till I was 18. Like I said, I hope everybody has a great day today. The sun's out and it's shining. I can't have a normal life. I have never had a normal life. I don't know what a normal life is. I don't. I'm stuck in this prison, kept away from everybody so they can use me. And I know I don't want to make it sound worse than it is, but I was being used for sex at my other address by filthy men. I was living in the most appalling conditions. And the bogus police would come out, they would see what I was living like, the police would come out, this isn't so bad now, but at the other address, I'd been battered, my flat was a wreck, and I needed help, and the police would come out, and they wouldn't be interested in my health or welfare or safety. In fact, the housing lady came out with a police officer because I hadn't left my flat in 3 days because one of the residents at my former block of flats had assaulted me. And they knew, the housing must have known that this guy was encouraging drug addicts into the flat because they were in flats, they were injecting heroin. They were injecting heroin and there were children in the building. But instead of deal with the problem, they pushed the victim under the carpet each time or moved the victim out the way. And I was in my flat 3 days scared of this bloke who had invited me into his flat for a cup of tea, and then he tried it on. And I don't know, I didn't call the police. It wasn't me that called the police. The housing lady came out with a so-called police officer. They could see I was in distress and in need of help. And normally you get told to go to the mental hospital. The Kent police used to tell me to go to their mental hospital. Not drive me up there and help me, tell me to get up there when it was miles away. And I've been sexually abused. Basically they said that the guy was mentally ill and that I needed to go outside. And I hadn't left my flat for 3 days because he'd tried it on with me, pushed me on the bed, said, "I'll watch you sleeping." He was trying to frighten me. He kept saying, "I'll buy you things if you do me favours." But it was passed off as the guy was mentally ill and the police completely ignored it. His name was Dave. He was a bit slow. And I took his kindness for like having a chat and a cup of tea for a genuine, and he tried it on with me, and he grabbed me by the throat as well, and the police did fuck all with that. So this is just going on and on and on from that, isn't it? These dirty, filthy men. And you know, when you hear of Asian grooming gangs, and it's not always Asian grooming gangs, you get white guys assaulting women and keeping them as sex slaves. It's not just Asian men. But when you hear of Asian grooming gangs, how these girls are kept in dirty, appalling conditions while these old dirty men are having sex with young women. And they're piling them with vodka, piling them with drugs, and they are fucking them on dirty mattresses, on the floor. No proper beds. They're just treating, and it's not only Asian women they're doing it to, they do it to white women, and they're piling them with drugs and vodka, fucking them, and they're living like fucking pigs in pigsties. Dirty, filthy floors, on dirty mattresses, no clean, humane living conditions, and then they're passed from one bloke to the other. Now, if I hadn't have got rid of that Sean and he'd come round to my flat, he didn't want to come round to be a partner, did he? He didn't want to be my partner. Oh, take your top off. Yeah, but I'm an older woman. I ain't a young girl. I ain't a fucking teenage girl, and I ain't a young woman. So what are they doing it for? What are they getting out of it? I don't understand. I just want to move and be away from all this. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
Pounds every year, which is about a third of the total cost of crime. So I think the question is more what happens inside jail and how we make that work.
Well, let me ask you, you're a commentator on jail or prison-related matters. As you watch, day in, day out, more people being sent to jail for offences related to the riots, in some instances so-called keyboard warriors, a woman getting 15 months for a first-time offence. How surprised are you? Do you consider this to be the right course?
I think it's quite dangerous to use exemplary justice in this way, to sort of treat something which would normally perhaps not even be charged, or perhaps would receive a fine, a bit of community service, and say, right, 20 months prison sentence because of what's going on around. I think the law should be consistent and well understood and consistently applied. And particularly in matters of speech, we should all be able to know what is and isn't legal speech, and it shouldn't change depending on what's happening in the news at the time.
David Shipley, thank you. Writer and commentator on prison-related issues, having served some time in Wandsworth. Over to you now. And I want to make this absolutely plain. I am not in any way supporting what this woman said and her loathsome and inappropriate comments about mosques and Muslims. But a first-time offence, a woman of 53, she'd never been before the court before. She is reportedly a carer for her husband. First-time offence, 15 months. Meanwhile, last year, the number of people with 100 convictions, some of whom in sexual offence, burglary, or even minor knife crime and drugs, 252 were just let free, just walked free from court. How can that be right? Is it two-tier justice? 9:16 LBC News headlines, Thomas Watts.
The number of students accepted onto degree courses in the UK is up 3% on the same time last year. A report found Britain's biggest police force has significant issues in investigations and victim care. And Hamas says it won't be taking part in a new round of Gaza ceasefire talks. LBC weather, fine and dry across England and Wales. Wind and rain in Scotland, Northern Ireland and parts of Northern England. A high of 27 degrees.
LBC Travel, I'm Joanne Webb. Long delays continue on the A12 southbound to the M25 junction because the traffic lights on the Brook Street roundabout aren't working. Slow as well on the A12, but southbound towards the Blackwall Tunnel because at the A13 junction a lorry has broken down. In Kingston Vale, there are queues on the A3 northbound because of the emergency repair works, and long delays continue on the North Circular Road westbound to the Brent Cross flyover because of the emergency repair works. On the underground, the Northern Line can't run northbound to Kennington and Camden Town via Bank. Then there are minor delays on the rest of the line, and also the District Line can't run between High Street, Kensington and Edgware Road. It's all down to a track problem, and South Western Railway services are still disrupted eastbound at Wimbledon.
This is LBC.
Get that Euro Millions feeling with Friday's £64 million jackpot. Plus, 10 UK.
Yes, what I wanted to say on these rioters being given hefty sentences, right? What they did was very bad, yes. I mean, setting fire to police cars, shoving bins at policemen. But I've just heard what Nick Ferrari said. They've just let a load of dangerous prisoners free. And they've sent a woman to jail who's a carer for her husband. Right? My dad never got arrested. He never got arrested. I reported him umpteen times for assault, pushing me against the table, allegedly raping me and things like that. No, the police didn't do anything with him. Nothing at all. In fact, the reason my dad got pissed off was that he actually got a speeding fine. A speeding fine, that's how the police got him. He had a speeding fine. But he didn't get arrested for it. He just thought he was so above the law. Oh, I've got a speeding fine, and it upset him that he got a speeding fine. After all the things that he'd done, he was upset because he got a speeding fine. There are a lot of people angry, right? Some of these people, it's a first time offence and they've been sent to prison. And there's people running around that have done numerous crimes and got away with it. Well, it stopped it, didn't it? It stopped it. It's made people think about standing up for their human rights. Not that you should use violence, you standing up for your human rights peacefully, yeah. No, you shouldn't use violence. I believe that the government has been harsh on them because they wanted to make them an example to stop other people from rioting, basically. Anyway, I'm nobody's property, I'm nobody's whore, I'm a human being, and I want my freedom as many people in this country want their freedom from this bullshit. See you later.